Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to week 9 at Tyndale Christian School. I'm sure many of you are beginning to look forward to Easter, and especially the holidays the week after, when you'll have your children home with you. I wanted to have a quick chat with you today because there is a letter coming home that is of significant importance. It is a letter that is attempting to address the conversation that's been happening around Australia over the last few weeks, and that is, how do we manage and deal with allegations of sexual harassment in the workplace, but also in schools, and the way in which the federal government and our state governments and numbers of organisations are grappling with what is becoming a significant conversation right across Australia. First of all, we just want to acknowledge and commend the courage of many young people, and especially young women, who are stepping forward at this time and are speaking out against sexual harassment. Some of the conversations and information that's being received is very confronting, especially in regards to schools and on the eastern coast of Australia, and some of the matters that have been raised, the allegations that have been put forward, and this is something that should concern all of us. There has also been conversations about what schools should be doing in this space, and that there is a suggestion that in many state jurisdictions around the country, at state schools, that conversations around consent, sexual activity, sexual harassment, protective practices is going to become mandated in schools. And I'm sure that many families are wondering how schools are going to respond to this conversation and what place we have to play in this regard. We want to say that Tyndale Christian School, across our 3 schools, is not going to remain silent in this space. We already have programs in place that address these conversations like these, and it is a time like this that a Christian school like ours needs to be stepping up and first of all affirming what we currently do, but also responding to the concerns that have been raised and the matter at hand, and what we're going to be doing into the future to improve the conversation at our schools, to ensure that all of our young people, not just our young women, but all of our young people remain safe in our schools, and also are given the information to enable them to make wise choices about matters of sexual activity. We understand that this is a very sensitive topic. We understand that any conversations around sexual activity can raise concerns for families, but we want to let you know that we will continue to do that in an incredibly respectful, age-appropriate way, but wanting to partner with you as families. In that regard, we do want to affirm that the critical conversations around these matters should be happening in the homes. And we want to encourage you to continue to have conversations with your children at an age-appropriate time about matters such as these. You know them the best, you love them the most, and you can have those one-on-one conversations with them, which is far more difficult in a school context. And we hope that the letter that we're sending out this week will encourage you to be able to consider how you can have those conversations with your children. Our only intent is that we work together to keep our kids safe and free from any type of sexual harassment or sexual abuse moving forward. The next thing I want to say is that as a Christian school, we are obviously deeply committed to our young people's safety, but also to create an environment and to encourage them to make wise choices about when they're going to engage in any type of sexual activity. Our heartbeat, absolutely, as a Christian school, is that every single one of our young people will wait until they're adults. They will wait until they are in a long-term committed relationship, in a marriage relationship, and that their experience of sex will happen within that context. However, we recognise that unfortunately, with the access to pornography that abounds in our society, the fact that conversations around sexual activity are occurring, and the fact that some of our young people do engage in sexual activity prior to finishing school. Now, we believe it's really important that we have these conversations as well, and that the school needs to have a place to play. Where some jurisdictions are going to be mandating schools to have these conversations, we want to be on the front foot and be involved in those conversations, because we believe in it rather than it just being a mandated regulation. In that regard, I also want to encourage you that there are lots of things that we already do. We run programs from year reception all the way to year 12 across our 3 schools. And there are also conversations going on within our ELCs at both Strath and Murray Bridge about keeping safe, making wise choices, respecting each other's bodies, stranger danger, knowing how to speak up and not keep quiet. Those things are happening right from the very beginning, and we will continue to do those things. There will be very little change to what we currently do in our junior schools across all 3 schools, but that we are definitely committed to ensuring that our young people at an age appropriate time are having conversations which will help to keep them safe. However, we also recognise that more explicit conversations around consent, around protective practices, is required from our middle schools upwards. And we're going to be having conversations and programs that we already run expanded and improved to ensure that those conversations are clear. This is all detailed in the letter, and we would love you to read it through carefully. As I said, it is quite a long letter, but we really would ask you to take your time so that you are fully informed about what we do as a school, so that you can ask questions if you're not certain about how we approach these things, that you can use the information that we are providing to help support your own conversations with your children at home, so that our young people know that there is a very clear partnership between parents and caregivers and the school in regards to these matters. We have set out an appendix which comes with the letter, which is for our teenage students, which has a range of statements about what consent looks like and how young people can make wise choices about keeping themselves safe in all circumstances. You can certainly use these as conversation starters with your own children to ensure that we're giving them enough information so that they can, whatever circumstance they are in, make good decisions so that they are kept safe. Our only intent is to be able to support you and them, that our children can get through their schooling lives free from any type of sexual harassment or sexual abuse. And as we work together, I believe that the more conversations we have with them, the more we support them to make wise choices themselves, that we can see our young people flourish and grow into the future and into their adulthood, not carrying any unnecessary baggage. Our heartbeat is pure and simple that. And as we work together with you, we believe that this is possible. So that's why we're sending out the letter. That's why we're improving our programs. And I trust that as you read through the letter, you will be reassured that Tyndale Christian School is very much ahead of the game in regards to these conversations. As I said before, we want to encourage you to embrace these conversations yourselves, and any way in which we can support you and help you through that would be our privilege. So, God bless. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact your campus principal and have any conversations about any of the programs that we run or any way in which we can help you moving forward. God bless. Let's keep our kids safe, and talk to you soon.